I just wanted to kind of do a sit-down video. I haven't really done very many of these, so I wanted to sit down and just share about when I was a dancer, because I wish I would have started my channel when I danced, because there were so many good things. But you know, there's nothing like reliving the past and telling a story. But today I think I'm just gonna share like the most embarrassing moments I had as a dancer. What memory do I want to start off with? I guess I'll start off with the one where I was really young. I had not even learned how to dance in my hard shoes yet. I was good enough that they wanted me to do this show. It was the first dance school that I was with. It was called A Time to Dance. That was really where I developed my love for Irish dancing, was through my friends and teachers there, and I really owe the start of my career to that dance studio, just because they were so patient with me and they really just encouraged me to be the very best dancer I could be. And when I decided to take my career a step further and begin competing, they were very supportive of me, and they always have been, and that's just like how my dance career started. So anyway, I'm about 12 years old, maybe even 11, and this show called the Medieval Fair, and it was at Geneva on the Lake in Ohio, and it was like an overnight show, and I was so excited to be with my dance friends all weekend. It was my first like show away from home. So we had these purple dresses that we wore, and they had a Trinity knot like on the chest, and they were really I was gonna say they're cute, but that's a complete lie. I mean, you know, from the stage they looked okay. So anyway, I'm wearing this purple dress. It has no bloomers that came with it, no anything for underneath. And being that I was 11 years old, I didn't realize that I needed black shorts or underwear or like something to go under my black tights, because even though I had black tights on, you could still see your underwear if you didn't have black ones on. So I think I realized it like halfway through the weekend. I just was like, I think you can see my underwear when I kick my leg up. I was like, crap, like all of my like neutral colored underwear, I've worn them already. So the last day of the weekend, I had to wear red underwear under my dress. So like when I kicked my leg up, all you could see was bright red under my dress. So that was really cute, and those were the early years of dance. And then I decided to start competing and began dancing for the O'Hare School. In August of 2012, every year they have the Columbus Feis, and if you don't know what Feis is or what it means, it's basically just what Irish dancers, what we call competition. So Feis means competition. So if you hear me say that throughout this video, that's what it means. It's just an Irish dance competition. So the Columbus Feis 2012, right? I step up to do my reel. My hair fixed, my shoes are tied, you know, my wig is on. It's really, really, really funny because the girl, I remember it plain as day, the girl I danced with actually danced for the school, the Academy Irish Dance Company, which is where I finished out my career and went so far with them. So I'm like immediately like, okay, the Academy is the best dance school in North America, and I've got to dance with this girl. We were the first pair up. And I was like, this is just not a good way to start the day, to start dancing with somebody from the Academy. Being the amazing competitor I was like, okay, forget it. I'm not gonna let this get to me. I've never seen this girl dance. I don't know her name. She doesn't know mine. So I start, point my toe, literally pointed my toe to start the dance. And I took one step, okay? I didn't jump, I didn't hop, nothing. I stepped up and my shoelace came completely untied. I swear to God, the shoelace was this long, like, oh my God, I'm not even lying, the shoelace was so long, and I was like, oh my gosh. And the only thing worse that could have happened was my wig fall off, okay? Or just like completely forget my dance and stop dancing. That is a foreshadow to another story in the future. So, my shoelace is this long, and I'm dancing with somebody from the Academy. That means Edward Searle's probably watching me dance. And if you guys know who that is, if you've been friends with me, you know who that is. He is this really important figure in Irish dance, and he's like standing there watching his dancer, and I'm dancing, and my shoelace is untied, and I'm just going around the stage with this shoelace just going all over the place. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do, like, in this situation. Do I stop? Like, am I allowed to stop? Am I gonna get dead last for stopping, even though my shoelace is about to kill me because it's this long? It's probably gonna wrap itself around my neck. I'm gonna choke and die. So I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm just gonna keep going. I got this. I got this. So, you know, I'm going, and I'm smiling just like as if I literally danced as if my shoe was tied. I did not let it stop me. I was like, this is my last shot, you know? And I was like, I can't stop dancing. Like, what's Ed gonna think? What's Edward gonna think if I completely stop dancing? He's gonna think I'm so ignorant and that I'm such a bad dancer. And to be honest, I think that was why I kept dancing, because I wanted to impress Ed, which again is a foreshadow to my future. So I finished dancing, and you know, the shoelaces just hanging there after my dance, and I pointed and I took my bow, got off stage, and I just started laughing. Like, normally I feel like I probably would have cried in that scenario, but I knew that I danced so well. Like, I just knew it. I was like, my shoe was untied, but I killed it. The rest of the day went pretty smooth. You know, there was no more freak accidents like that. This girl that I competed with, who was my friend, she didn't dance at my dance school, but we were in the same age group, so we always saw each other at Feshes. Her name's Arcadia, and she comes up to me and she's like, Elizabeth, have you looked at the scores yet for the reel? And I was like, no, like, I don't want to know. My shoe was untied. Why would I want to know what the scores were? My name's probably not even on the list. She's like, guess what place you got? And I was like, I don't know, 4th? And she's like, no, you got 1st. And I was like, 1st place? I said, Arcadia, did you see me dance? She's like, no, what happened? I was like, my shoelace was untied and it was this long. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, you won. And I'm like, okay. So that was just so funny. Oh my God, I forgot about how funny that was. This next story is perhaps the most embarrassing story of my life, okay? And it was like a self-inflicted embarrassing moment. Like, it wasn't like somebody did something to me and it embarrassed me. Like, I did it all on my own. So actually, it was the Columbus Fesh the year before. I was running late, okay? Which was not unusual. We were always running late. We never knew where the Fesh was. It was literally in Dublin, Ohio, at Dublin Kaufman High School, and for some reason, my family and I could not find it. I don't really know how that's possible, but because it's like really easy to get there. So we're like, oh my God, we don't know where we're going. And I'm like texting this girl, Riley, that I danced with. She was my friend. She went to my dance school. I'm like, Riley, we're running late. Like, where are they at? She's like, we're up next. And I'm like, oh, good. We're a half hour away. So I'm like, crap. Like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to miss my first dance. Like, you know, it wasn't really all that big of a deal on that level. We get there, and I, like, go running into the gym. I find my stage, and there's Riley sitting there. And there was like 30 girls in that dance for some reason that day. I don't know why there were so many girls. There's usually about 12 to 15, but we had like literally 30 people. She's like, there's so many dancers left. Like, go ask if you can still dance. And I'm like, why would I ask if I could still dance? Like, everyone's already standing there on stage. She's like, no, there's a whole nother group that still has to go. They've already checked in, but go ask. Like, it's fine. So I'm like, okay, I'll go ask. And my mom's like, Elizabeth, go ask. You need to go ask. And I'm like, okay, fine. Everyone's telling me to go ask. I'll go ask. There are 2 people on side stage that are like running the stage to make sure everything's going smoothly. And they're kind of like, what do they call them? Like stage assistants or something. They help run the stage, make sure everything's running smoothly, tell the dancers when they're allowed to go on stage. They kind of like help the judge out if they need anything. That's who you're supposed to go to if something like that occurs. Like, you go to them for all of your questions. They're like press secretary, basically. They answer all the hard questions for you because they want to make the judge's day go as smoothly as possible. Well, you know, as I've said a few other times, I was new to the Irish dance competitive world, and I didn't realize that. The competition's going on. There are 2 dancers dancing their reel, okay? I remember who they were. And they're dancing, and I went up to the judge, and I said, excuse me, and she like wouldn't look at me. And I was like, can I still dance? I'm running late, but can I still dance? Like, I just got here. And she's like, she turns around. She's like, I'm trying to watch them dance. Go ask her over there. And I was like, oh my God. Like, when she said that, I could not, like, it finally clicked in my head what I had just done. I went up to a judge. You do not talk to judges. Like, it is, you just don't do it, okay? And I was so stupid. Oh my God, like, what was I thinking? And so I go over to the side stage lady and I'm horrified, and like I look over at my mom and she's horrified, and like I couldn't even look at Riley and her mom. It's like I asked the stage lady, I was like, you know, can I still dance? I just got here. They're like, yeah, you're fine. I realized what I had done like after the day was over, and I couldn't even face myself. Like it took me years to like fully deal with that like horrifying, embarrassing moment, like where I walk up to a judge. If you're an Irish dancer, you will really, I really hope you appreciate this story, because you just know, like, you just don't talk to judges. It's like, you try to avoid your dance teacher at all costs, let alone a judge, okay? I don't know how I didn't know. I do not know how I did not, like, that didn't compute. What's wrong with you, Elizabeth? So now that I have that off my shoulders and I finally shared that story with the world after probably 7 years, so let's fast forward. This story is a little bit more serious, and I'm gonna really be open and honest. So in 2015, and it was right before the regionals, so I had been working so hard. I go to this big competition in Chicago, huge, probably the second biggest competition like locally that you could do before regionals. I look at like the dance list, the competitor list, and like all of these champions were gonna be there. We had the 2-time regional champion from my age group. She went on to win the nationals later on after that year, so that just tells you how good she was. A girl who got second at Worlds that year, second place, had all these world qualifiers, just like all these amazing dancers with all this experience, and then there was me, who'd only recalled at the Oireachtas or regionals one time. I recalled once, nothing on my resume, period, other than the fact that I danced for the Academy Irish Dance Company. So I was nervous. So I do my first 2 rounds and they went well. I got Ed's approval. So it was time for the set dance. And the one thing I haven't really explained on this video yet is how a set dance works if you're not a dancer. So basically, you know, you have your first 2 rounds, your soft shoe round and your hard shoe round. And you dance those 2 dances with another person. So they're not from your dance school, but they're in your competition. It just kind of makes the day go a little bit faster. But the 3rd round is a solo dance. Like you literally do it by yourself on the stage. And my set dance was very short. I think it was Planxty Drury, I believe, was my set. So that's like a very short set dance. So I step up to do it. I did my right and left foot fine. The set part comes around. And it was sort of similar to my right and left foot, like, just got really confused. Like, sometimes I'd be like, okay, that's in the step part, like, now I have to do, like, last part of my dance, but it's so similar to my first part. So that kind of threw me. On top of that, like I said, I was nervous all day. There was a point where I'm dancing, and, like, I turned to go to the back of the stage, and when I turned back around, literally, the thing that I forgot to do was treble and a toe bang. That's it. Easy. Okay, like, I could teach somebody who's never ever danced in their lives to do that. Treble and a toe, bang. And then, you know, I went on and did the rest. I forgot it. And I went right into the next part. When I got to the front of the stage again, I was like, I forgot something. And like in my head, I couldn't remember what I forgot. So I'm like, what do I do? It was like I forgot how to Irish dance, okay? Instead of just throwing in treble and a toe, bang, or just making something up, you know, just like da 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 da, you know, whatever. It's all the same. It's really not that hard. Hard shoe's hard shoe. You just beat your feet to death, okay? I stopped. Completely stopped. Just like I said, like I forgot how to Irish dance, and I like had a case of like paralysis where I was just like, and I just I just stood there, and I thought the dance was over, but the music was still going. So I was like, oh God. I kind of faked it, and then I just went, ah, and then like the dance ended and the song ended. And I walked back to the back of the stage and took my bow and walked off the stage, and like I watched a couple people clap, and this girl, she like with a look of horror on her face, she just like I was done, and she went like that. Like got off stage, and I went to my mom. She's like, what happened? And I was like, come on. And I cried so hard. I never cried at a dance competition in 6 years, okay? That was the only time I've ever cried at a dance competition. Like losing it, like like that kind of cry. Because it wasn't that I forgot my dance. It wasn't that I knew I was going to get dead last. It wasn't that, you know, I forgot how to Irish dance and had a case of paralysis. It wasn't that I forgot treble and a toe bang. It was I had to face Edward. Ed was standing there watching me do it. And I didn't even know what I was going to say. I didn't know what he was going to say to me. Like I knew he was gonna be livid. Like, I knew, and that was why I was sobbing. Like, oh my god, I let Edward down. My biggest fear when I danced for the academy was letting Ed and Byron down. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it really was. It's what got me out of bed every day to practice. It's what got me to class every day when I didn't want to be there. I did not want to let them down, ever. And I knew I did in that moment, and I knew there was nothing I could do to change it. So I turned my tears off. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go face it like a man, and I go up to Ed. I swear to God, this is exactly what he said. He goes, what the hell was that? And I was like, I literally just looked at him and was like, I don't know. And he goes, well, you'll be dead last now. I know you were afraid of that earlier, but you're definitely gonna be dead last now. And I did not even want to put on my dress for awards. Because I knew I wasn't going to get up there and get an award. Like, what did I think? I was going to get first? But I put my dress on anyway. I wanted to be a good sport. I didn't want to misrepresent my dance school by looking like a poor sport. No, they didn't call my name for any awards. But at the end of a competition, you always get your score sheet to see, like, where you fell at on the board, even if you didn't get an award. And, of course, I was dead last. And I probably would have at least come close to getting an award if I hadn't made that mistake. Like, dead last and zeros and all this comments of, you forgot your dance. Like, really? Like, thank you, judge. I know I forgot my dance. Like, I was the one dancing or not dancing, okay? And they put forgot dance down on the comments. Okay, wow. As if the big fat 0 wasn't enough to let me know. And the fact that my dance teacher said, what the hell was that, Elizabeth? Okay, like, I know I quit dancing. I know I forgot it. Okay, I'm not stupid. Like, maybe I am, but I'm not, like, ignorant to the fact that I forgot my dance. Okay, thanks. I go home and then had anxiety for the next 3 days because I knew I had to go back to dance class and that we were going to stand around and talk about the dance competition with everyone. We go to class and everybody's gathered around Ed and he's telling everybody, you know, like what he thought of their dancing. There was the guy next to me and he got his critiques and I was up next, and like while he was giving the other guy his critiques, my heart was pounding in my chest. And he looks at me and he goes, you did that deliberately. I was like, what? Why would I do that? He's like, I know that you tricked yourself into thinking that you were so nervous you're just gonna forget your dance, and you forgot your dance on purpose. And I was like, no, I promise, Ed, like I would never do that. And he's like, well, your mom and I talked and she told me that you were so nervous all day, and that's why I deliberately think you did it, just so that you'd have an excuse for why you got dead last. And I was like, and I think Ed wanted me to like disappear. Like, I think if he could have snapped his fingers and I would have turned to dust and not returned for 2 weeks to class, I think he would have done it. And I don't know, maybe a part of him was right. The fact that definitely psyched myself out. And it was just like, oh, he wouldn't even look at me the rest of the class. That's my dance stories, and I hope you all liked it. Some of them were a little bit ugly, some of them were really funny, some of them were just completely stupid. And I have way more where that came from, so maybe in the future I'll do another one of these videos where I just sit down and talk about my dance experiences. And maybe if you're really lucky, I'll do a video of me dancing. Yeah? Yeah? No, probably not, because that makes my legs hurt. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, please like this video, please leave a comment about what you thought of my stories if you wish, and how stupid I am. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Entiende que yo sigo extrañándote a cada instante, en todo momento. Entiende que yo sigo